Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Healthy Lifestyle Together. And today we're going to talk to you guys about habits and routines. Stephen and I have been doing some morning routines for a few years, but we've also been working on a lot of daily habits to really help us um, be more organized in life. I guess that would be a good way to explain it. Um, you know, what do you want to start out with as far as like habits and routines?
Well, I've been listening to so many people reading books, and a lot of them, and I think most of them say they want to be awake before the chaos starts, right?
Yeah.
Meaning wake up early, have your morning routine, and get you in a peak state of mind, right? Because we all know if we sleep in and get up when the kids get up and we're rushing, we don't have time for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And so an example is if I sleep in till 7 and my son's gonna get up at 7:10, I'm instantly thinking, oh no, I gotta make my son's lunch, I gotta get him dressed, I gotta get him off to work or to school, and I'm starting the day in kind of a chaotic state.
When we were younger and we had only Jasmine and Allison then, which is our older daughters, I remember waking up literally like 20 minutes before they would get up.
Hey, sometimes I wake up after them. Right? I swear to God, man, I had a kid at 15. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if you know this. She has the same kid. I had a kid at 15. I used to go to work at Albertsons a lot of times till midnight, and sometimes I would sleep in till 9 or whatever. And I remember I'd open my eyes and my daughter be awake, and I'd be so tired. So tired. I'd close my eyes and I wake up and she'd be dressing herself.
Yeah.
Right? And then I go back to sleep. She's fine. And I wake up, she's in another outfit.
Yeah.
And then I just force myself up. That's an example of you're waking up when everything's already started. Right?
Yes. But my story...
A little different?
Yeah.
You didn't sleep till 1?
So it was when you would go to work, you'd leave at like 5 in the morning, so I'd have to get the girls ready. And I just remember like they would have their alarm set, and I would just kind of wake up right before we were leaving. And I used to yell at them like, why aren't you ready? Like, we're going to be late. Get dressed, get ready. Or why didn't you get up? And it was like their responsibility to get ready, and they were like, one was probably in like first grade and the other one was probably in middle school or whatever. Just putting a lot of pressure on our morning, and it was so chaotic. It was literally like just a yelling fest of like, why aren't you getting ready, where's your backpack? And it was so much chaos. And now that
the whole time she's yelling, I'm just sleeping because I'm gonna sleep in, I'm gonna get my rest on, right?
No, you were at work.
Oh, I was at work. Just kidding.
And so I think it was maybe when we had Elijah, or a little bit before Elijah, which is our 4th child, where we started actually waking up a little bit early. And I used to always tell myself like, I could never wake up early. Like, people are crazy to wake up at 5:30, 6. And, it sounded so much earlier to me. And so, I just remember, because we had the baby, we had to wake up anyway. So it was a good time to really acclimate ourselves. And, when he would go back to sleep, just stay up and read. And so our morning routine actually just started with reading. Like, that was all we did.
And it's developed over time, for sure.
Yeah, and it's so like, basically it's, we would wake up, read, get the kids off to school, and then gym. And so that was like our morning routine for a very long time.
And we noticed when we were able to kind of be consistent with that, it just made our days better, right? More energy. You felt like you accomplished they say the first one is making your bed in the day. So that's part of the routine too. I always make my bed first thing, and that's like off the checklist. Okay, that's the first one of the day. And how many things can we add to our routine in the morning even is more beneficial, but definitely you have a routine throughout the day. But how can we start the day with as many wins as possible? And I think when you could accomplish, the more wins, the better, and that's going to get you through the full day. Because we all know once we open that door, we go out into the real world, it could be pretty hectic and chaotic. But I feel, and from example or from experience, when we dial our routine in, we're more prepared for the chaos throughout the day, right? So that's why we want to start this, or talk on this subject of morning routine. In our lives, it has been so important. I want to preach and share to the world how good we feel just because we're doing this routine. Routine has been in my head every single day because I'm now following a routine again, and I'm like, it's working again. Routine.
I mean, even when we have like the holidays and it throws us off our routine where, we're not waking up as early and we feel too tired to do certain things, like it doesn't feel right. Like,
you feel a little off.
Yeah. So, I mean, even for me, if I wake up and I don't do my sauna meditation cold plunge thing, and that's a different topic.
Routine. Hold on, what you do? Sauna.
I just feel like I'm missing something. And I just feel like my days are so much better when I have that right mindset of doing something that's uncomfortable and getting past it. So, you introduced me to the cold plunge, and, I definitely didn't enjoy it. I remember jumping into the shower that was really cold and dancing around in there like, you're crazy. Like, there's no way I'm going to get used to this.
This can't be good for you.
Right. And, now I am consistently doing it. We have a pool that we go out to, and not to say this is something that you guys have to do, but for me, what it's taught me is there's been several times in the morning where I've told myself, I don't want to go in that pool. I could just do it later after the gym when it's a little bit brighter, because I go in there like between like 5:45 and 6 in the morning when it's still dark. And when I do it and I force myself to do it, it kind of gives me that sense of feeling where I'm in control. I'm in control of the decisions that I make. I'm in control with the things that I do, so that throughout the day when things come up, I have more control of how I react and how I guess progress through the day without making excuses for myself. And I feel like I'm more mindful about the excuses that I'm making in my head, just from a simple thing like jumping in the pool in the morning when it's 37 degrees outside.
Stay tuned, guys. I've experienced our morning routine now, and I was not able to do everything in the morning when I was going to work this early. So I spread it out through the day. So I could tell you guys how you could still, if you want to, incorporate things like this, even after work, during work, whatever it is. And we're lucky to be in a position now where we could cram a lot of things early in the morning and still have freedom to work from home, right? So not everybody has that luxury, but there are ways that you can still capitalize on everything we're going to talk about today in your daily lives if you choose to. Okay, so let's just kind of give what our routine has evolved into over years,
long time.
And we're still adding things. We didn't. There's so many things we've added. I've actually been doing sauna and cold therapy for quite some time now.
I think it started when we were in Mexico, right? When you went to that day spa.
No, I was doing it before then.
Really?
So yeah.
I think that was my first experience. Then.
Sauna at the gym. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So anyways, our routine right now is we're going to try to wake up anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30, right? And I'm more successful at getting up early if I go to bed early. I need 8 hours of sleep, so you guys do the math. You know what time I go to sleep. Yeah. I was telling my daughter earlier, I am optimal with 8 or more hours of sleep. 7, I could get away with 1 or 2 days. 6.5 hours, I am struggling no matter what. I need 8 or more. Okay, so if I could get 8, 9, I'm good to go. I'm gonna wake up at 4:30 to 5, and then I'm gonna go straight to that couch. I'm kind of waking up. I'm gonna drink a glass of water before coffee. Right? They say give your insides a shower, and that's with your first cup of water. That's probably one of your most dehydrated moments. Mm-hmm. Glass of water. If I want to have coffee next, I'll have coffee, and I'm slowly waking up, and then I start reading. And she does this pretty much the same routine too. We read for about 30 minutes or so. I try to get like 10, 15 pages in, whatever I feel like. Okay. And then she's going to go in the sauna. Stay tuned to me because I might go to the sauna later, but she's going to go straight in the sauna. We have a luxury. We do have a sauna in the garage. Not everybody has that. Stay tuned. I'll tell you what I do.
Although, when we first started, we had that little tiny singlet that you can buy off Amazon that
Yes.
zip up and your head sticks out. Like
We made it happen.
I used to sit inside the thing and just crisscross my legs, but he would stick his
This
head
is during
in
the
his throat.
pandemic. I was
Yeah,
like, what do we
throw
do
a
in the
towel.
sauna? And our
So, no
girl
excuses.
Ceci is like, hey, I got a sauna. I'm like, ooh, Amazon, $130.
Yeah.
And we were in that little thing daily,
Yeah.
trying to get our sweat on. And it's a lot of health benefits. So she's gonna go in the sauna. You're gonna do about 20 minutes. What are you doing in the sauna?
I'm actually meditating. So I usually do like a guided meditation for 20 minutes, and I really like work on visualizing my goals, where I see our future. And I really try to soak it into where like I'm feeling the feelings that it would feel like when my goals are met, our goals are met. So sometimes it's like very emotional, and sometimes it's just kind of like routine. So I get different feelings depending on like.
So you don't go in there
certain days.
bumping crazy music, some hardcore rock, some gangster rap, and dancing. You're trying to
Mellow down
Okay,
and
I
really
like that.
like make use of my time in
I hear you,
there.
I hear you.
Yeah.
What do you do right after that?
So I go straight to the pool for 2 minutes at least, and I try to get. What
I was just telling everybody you're crazy because she does. She'll go in the dark. I'm like, man,
yeah.
next
And
level.
That was like really hard for me in the beginning too, because I'm like, it looks really cold out there. I don't want to do it. I used to do it after the gym. But I found that like because it takes me longer to get ready for work, I was like taking a lot of time to start working. Because I go to the gym from 8 to 9, and then if I do the sauna after, I'm not in the office until maybe like 10:30. So I feel like I've lost so much time. So I want to knock that out before the kids wake up, because then it kind of gives me that time to just get into the office a lot sooner.
And then like clockwork. So I'm kind of still reading while she's doing this, but like clockwork, as soon as she's done, little Elijah wakes up, and now we need to focus on, okay, what are we going to do to get these kids off to school?
Yeah.
Okay, so either she's probably going to get the lunch ready, I'm going to get Elijah ready. If I have to give him a shower or get him dressed, see if he wants some food, get our son Anthony, we take them to school. She goes to the gym. Mm-hmm. I go to a separate gym. And this is when I do my sauna session is going to be after, but I'm going to make sure I get what I can out of my gym session. And I know you do CrossFit, and you have an hour, you're trying to get as much done.
Yep.
And how I incorporate the sauna and cold with my schedule is my gym has a sauna. I know a lot of people, when you join the gym, most of them have saunas, right? So if this is something you want to look into, join the gym, or you already go to the gym, do the sauna for 10, 20. Over years, I'm now able to do it for 30 minutes, and the same thing. If you catch me in a sauna, there's a good chance my eyes are closed, and I'm really just trying to clear the noise. I might put in something that's just really calming and just really be grateful for stuff. This is about getting in the peak state. I want to be thankful, grateful, take it in. Just really enjoy. It might get hard after a while. I might get up and stretch.
Don't you do like breathing sometimes?
Sometimes I do some breathing exercises. It develops over time, and I really enjoy that too. And then from there, what I used to do back when my gym didn't have a cold pool outside, I would go in the shower, and especially during the winter time, you put it on the coldest temperature. Yeah. And I'd be in there for about 30 seconds like, oh my gosh. And I don't know why I was doing it. There's so much science behind it now, and it's kind of the new thing.
Yeah.
But I was just doing it because it made me feel good back then. It's something about being freezing and fighting through that, and then when you're done, you just feel awake and alive. Yeah. And so now with the gym I have, they have a pool outside, and it's a kid pool, so they don't put any temperature to it.
They're
and
probably like, why is that man in the
And
kid
I don't
pool?
care. I'm doing it for me. I get in there, I set the timer for 3 to 5 minutes, I get out, I let my body naturally dry off for about 5 minutes, and I'm shivering. I really am. Then I dry off, and I walk to the car. I get home, and me and Rose are talking because we are just on fire with our morning routine.
Yeah.
Put us in this position. Get ready, we go to work. And I tell you right now, once we really dialed in this routine, every day is very, very, very productive, optimistic. We have a great relationship, full of energy. And then when you get tired, you might have to take a couple days off, a day off. That's fine, right? You might have to sleep in a little bit more. You might have to not do the sauna, not do the gym, and just really step away for a second. And then when you come back, it's even better. That's the gist of our routine.
So we got really deep into routines. What about habits? I feel like that's one thing that is really crucial to like even just having a routine is like the habits that you're doing. Because I know like a lot of people, like when the pandemic happened, we stopped going to the gym and we literally became like homebodies. We would work out in the garage, whatever. And then so for me, getting back into the gym was really hard. It was kind of like, oh, I don't have this feeling. Then you just keep pushing yourself to go. And then all of a sudden you're like acclimated to it and then becomes habit to where now it's like I have to go because if I don't go, I won't feel good or my day won't go as well. So, you know, what have been some of the experiences that you've had with habit? Because I feel like it's the same thing. It's like when you try something new, like reading a book, you don't want to do it. There's nothing that excites you about doing it. And you just keep doing it every day to where it's the actions kind of ingrain into your mind and your daily activities to where that forms a habit that it gets easier and easier and then you kind of want to do it more and more, right? So what have been some of your experiences with like doing habits and transforming them?
It's really, really, really tricky. The day and age we're in right now, we are surrounded with instant gratification. It's really, really hard to create a habit in the first place to delay instant gratification and work towards something that's challenging in the moment that's going to reward you in the future. It's so much easier to just give in to, I'm bored, let me check on my phone. And we're on our phone all day. So we do it, okay? It's really easy to be like, I'm too busy to meal prep or eat clean. I have nothing, let's go eat. It's really easy to do that. And it tastes so good to just binge eat on really, really highly processed foods. They're so highly addictive, right? It's so easy to just do so many things that give you instant gratification. The phone is huge, right? You take alcoholics, you know, it's okay to have a couple drinks, but a lot of people try to just hide from any issue they have. They're going to come home from a long day of work and their habit is, I'm going to sit down, relax, watch TV, have a few drinks, eat some food. These are habits. And it's so much easier to do that. It's so much harder to say, no, I'm going to wake up early today. I'm going to possibly meal prep. I'm going to eat clean.
Work out.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the gym, especially if you haven't done it or you're not in shape. Your brain is going to be screaming at you, no. And then your other part of your brain is going to be like, but I have to. Are you going to give in to that or not? Chances are you're going to not go. You're going to go back, and I'm not saying you specifically, but we tend to go back to what's easiest and most comfortable. Yeah. We have to go against the grain because on the other side is your true potential. And so when I started working out, I was pretty heavy. I'm about 180, 185 now. I think I was about 215. And I really wanted to be healthy. And I just didn't know how to. And then every night I'm like, this is the day. And I did it for years. Every day, tomorrow's the day, tomorrow's the day, tomorrow's the day. And then I would get home and just give in and I would just go hard. And I would eat so much.
And let me just clarify though, like for people who know you and see you now, they think like, oh, it's easy for you because you're fit. And so I want to share with you guys that he wasn't always like this.
People think I'm fit?
Yeah. So yeah, he was overweight, and we would literally go to like hometown buffet.
Yeah, we should
when,
put a little
oh
B-roll
my
picture.
gosh,
Man. There's a
yeah.
little chubby boy.
I mean, he would literally eat for a very long time at the buffets, to where he says like the food is. Like,
I got skills. I can out eat most people.
He can.
And when I'm done, I keep going.
So just so we have some background on him, as far as like this was not a priority of ours.
So a trick to that really got me in the gym was I used a timeline or an event to kind of push me. And that event was going to be our wedding in Hawaii. I said, this is going to be the thing that's going to really keep me disciplined. But the thing is, I was so undisciplined that I was still doing the same things. Today's the day. And I'd go in at night and just kill the food. And I remember I had my kind of rock bottom moment where I was on the couch and I was so disappointed in myself. Like, I got this wedding coming up and I still can't do the right thing. And I remember Rose had this book that she read. It's called Body for Life. And I'm not saying, I don't even remember the book that much. I'm not saying it was a pretty good book. If you guys need something, go follow it.
I think you even had your mom read and sister read it
something
too.
And I remember I was on the couch like, I'm not going to be able to do this. And I had this book and I'm not a reader. And I'm like, I just started reading it. What that did is it gave me something to follow. And I just started kind of following it. And I remember you were going to spin class. Uh-huh. And I was so overweight, but I knew I had potential.
And, like, you're like, I'm not going to spin.
I'm not doing
class.
spin. That's for y'all, right? And I went and I was like, that felt good. My body was moving. And then I found something. I'm like, spin's my thing. I was a spin dude,
yeah, we
man.
would wake up at like 5 and go to spin class in the morning.
And I think I was even going in the sauna then, but it wasn't like a calm session. I was going in loud music, all good, you know. And I was just I started getting in the zone. I was like addicted to spin and sauna. But then I was like, let me see what these weights are all about. I didn't know anything about weights. How did I learn? I started reading muscle and fitness magazines. I'm not saying go read muscle and fitness magazine, but it was...
Well, that was what we had back then.
And it might be good now, yeah. But it's just my journey, how to learn. I would watch, and I'd take little routines in there. I'd just start kind of doing them. And I'd watch people in the gym, and I'd look up people on YouTube, and I just started experimenting. Right? And I started losing the weight. And when I started to really get motivated with the gym, it was easier to give into my temptations of hunger. And so I was unhealthy with it. I just didn't eat that much. I started to become determined. I just wouldn't eat that much, but I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up getting, I think, down to 177 for the wedding. Yeah. And guess what I did? I ballooned right back up because I didn't know what I was doing. But this is almost 20 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago. I've learned so much since then, but I developed a habit of I'm going to the gym, and when I'm done, it makes me feel really good. So even when I'm down, I remember push through, it's hard. And that developed, like, even when I'm not in the mood, I know if I go, I'll feel better. Gym is priority for me. Gotta go, even if I don't feel like it.
Yeah. And you know, like, we talk a lot about the gym and like diet and all that stuff because we just feel better when we do that. I feel like it's kind of like the foundation and the core of everything, because when you're healthy, you can do other things. Your mind's clear, your body's strong, right? But when it comes to work and habits, it's kind of the same thing, you know, with school and kids and all that stuff. You create certain habits to help you stay organized, stay consistent. A lot of people look at success and they always see just the end in sight. Like, they always see, you know, for example, a lot of people on Instagram, you know, you just see all the successful things that these big people are doing, right? But you don't see the daily habits they're doing every day, what got them to where they are today. So I encourage everybody to maybe pick one or two things where you want to do something, you've been having it pull on your heart for a very long time that you want to get started, whether it's a gym, reading a book, meditating, walking outside, getting some sun, hiking, just doing something super simple to get yourself moving or just feeling better. And, you know, one thing that really sticks out to me with habits and routines is that oftentimes, like, there's been several times where, I want to do something and I keep procrastinating, right? Like, there's been times where I'm gonna say I'm gonna wake up early and that bed is so cozy and it's cold out and I don't want to get up. There's been several times where, we're not big drinkers, but there was a point where we first moved and we had a pool and it was like, let's open beer. It's 5 o'clock somewhere at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so there got to a point where, like, for a while we were drinking, Trulies and beers right after work. And I really felt like I wanted to just stop doing that. And I kept telling myself I would, and I didn't. But it's like when you're telling yourself that you're going to do something and then you don't do it, and then you do it again and then again. So imagine if, like, you had a really good friend and they're like, I'm gonna meet you for dinner, and then the day of dinner, they're like, you know what, something came up, I can't make it. Let's go do, a hike. And then the day of the hike, they don't show up. And then again and again. And after what, like 2 or 3 times they faked on you, you'd probably drop that person. So why do you do that to yourself? So then now you actually subconsciously, like, are losing trust for yourself because you're not moving forward with what you say you're going to do. And so that's where a lot of doubt, insecurities, even anxiety come from, is because you're telling yourself something and you're not following through with it. So, that, and I want to cover that because I think a lot of us do that. I do it all the time. Even with, like, eating, I tell myself, I want to eat clean and this and that. So, like, take it slowly. Like, don't overdo it. Don't do, like, oh, I'm going to lose, 50 pounds in a year or whatever. Do something that's realistic. Do it for a small period of time. Like, for us, we wanted to do something like, eat natural foods for 30 days, and then after that 30 days reevaluate. So do, like, a small goal to just kind of give yourself time to, like, trust yourself again, and then it creates habit.
Even a week, right? 30 days might even be too long. I know when we have these ideas, we're like, I'm gonna lose so much weight, I'm gonna be the rock star, I'm gonna do it all, and then those temptations get in and you're like, oh, I failed, let's go back to it. So we talked a lot about gym. More important than gym to me, and they kind of go together, is your health, which in that case, I'm talking about food, right? What you eat. And I'm very consistent with the gym, even when I'm not consistent with food.
Yeah. And I think that's very common for a lot of people, though.
Yeah. During the pandemic, I gained a lot of weight back. And for years, I'm saying years, I was disappointed in myself because I know what to do. I've lived it before. I've been in really good shape. And every single day again, I'm saying I'll do it again. I'll do it tomorrow. And I give into it. That lowers my confidence. That lowers my self-belief because I'm lying to myself every single day and I know what to do. And I kept telling Rose, I know once I get, and I said this for years, I know once I get my diet in check, I'm going to feel better. And I just kept giving in, kept giving in. How did I get my diet back in check? I don't know. I think I just, YouTube, I know, but YouTube is just, has so much information. And I just needed to find something to follow, okay? Just something. So I'm looking through YouTube. I know once I get my diet in check, things will start to happen. I've done keto in the past and it worked really good for me in intermittent fasting. And I hear this thing about carnivore where it's the ultimate elimination diet. You just stick to meat products and see how you feel and then start introducing stuff back in. As I said, I just need a routine. I don't know if this is sustainable, but let me just try it for a week. So I just started cooking steaks, burgers, and all that stuff.
And if y'all know, I love steak and burgers.
And I didn't want to give myself too long of a timeline. I didn't say I'm going to do this for a month. I didn't say I'm going to do it for 2 weeks. I said, let me just do it for a week. And if I for any reason, give in to temptation on a few days in, whatever. I didn't put too much on it, but it was something to follow. And then I started listening to people's success stories and what to look out like if I'm going to be deficient in anything. So I was just educating myself, and it gave me something to follow. And then after about a week, I was like, I feel good.
Better, yeah.
I feel I haven't lost any strength. I'm onto something.
And you're
but I don't,
also not, you were like, I'm not
I wasn't
craving
craving stuff,
like
yeah.
the bad stuff.
So what happens is you get into ketosis and you have a higher fat diet, but they're healthy fats, and it's satiating. And so like I'm not craving the processed carbs, sugar, stuff like that. It's easier to say no. And then from there, I'm like, well, I don't want to just do meat, so let me start adding vegetables in. You know, I would definitely add vegetables and limit my fruits because it has sugars, but it's just something that worked for me. And then after maybe 4 days of doing that, I'd add some carbs back in, and that would give me energy again. Take those away for about 4 days and be all good in ketosis. And now I've developed my routine where I'm carb cycling just 1 to 2 times out of the week. And for the most part, I'm in ketosis. And look into that. There's a lot of health benefits to that. It's good for your brain, good for your energy. It's working for me. At least I have a routine to follow. And because of that, everything is kind of working out. I love waking up early now. I'm excited to wake up. I'm still tired. I'm still like groggy, but I'm excited to start the day. And it's that freaking diet, man. I work out better. I read better. I'm more energetic, more confident, more playful. These are our routine, guys. I really like it. If you guys have anything you like to add to that or want to dive deeper, you could always reach out to us. We love talking about this stuff. I know we talked for a little bit over 30 minutes. And we said we'll do 10 minutes. And I can't keep her quiet. No. It's really a game changer for us. And we just want to spread the word because it's really made our life something special. And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
This is just one of the episodes. We're going to keep going and it'll evolve from here.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for listening and tuning in. You know, again, we are here if you have any questions, and we would love to hear from you guys. See you guys on the next one. Bye.